Hi, I'm Rebekah Reysen here with Jeremy Roberts, and welcome to the Chit Chat. Today we have a very special guest named Dion Sanford. Let me tell you more about Dion. Dion Sanford is an academic advisor serving students in the College of Liberal Arts with the last names A through K. He is from Cortland, Mississippi. Dion graduated with a bachelor's in accountancy in 2014 and an MA in higher education, student personnel in 2018, both from the University of Mississippi. He has a higher education background, having worked in procurement services and the Office of Financial Aid on campus. He has a passion for helping all students succeed and start off on the right path. Good to see you, Dion. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you all. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Well, thank you for being with us. So tell us about your role at the Center for Student Success and First Year Experience.
All right, so I basically advise, like you said, liberal arts students, last name A through K, and I also teach the EDHE 105 freshman year experience course, and in the spring I teach the uh, academic skills course, EDHE 101, and that's pretty much everything that I do in my position here at the university.
Well, that's great. Definitely an important role for sure, helping all those students. Also, tell us about your career development and how you got started in student affairs. We always like to hear about our guests and their experiences in higher education.
Gotcha. So pretty interesting. So when I graduated with my accounting degree, I was working in procurement, and I enjoyed that, but I wanted to get a little bit closer to students. So like you say, I finished my master's degree in 2018. So 2 years after I got my bachelor's degree, I started the master's program. And with the master's program, it required us to get 150 hours in another department that deals with student services. So I started doing my time in financial aid office because that always interests me in working with students and money and finances stuff, things of that nature. So with my time in financial aid, I was getting those hours, learning the systems, learning the procedures, all of the and everything that goes on in the financial aid office. But then a position came open. So this was all during my time as a practicum student, as a grad student. So I ended up getting that position. But with that, I still had hours that I needed to have to finish for the requirement, 150-hour requirement. So at that point, I was like, man, I always thought about financial aid. That was it. So I was like, where else can I finish my time? And someone told me about the Center for Student Success and First Year Experience. So I actually finished my time in this office as a practicum student. Uh, and then about a year later, a position came open here in this office, Center for Student Success and First Year Experience. And I've been here since 2018, right after I finished my master's degree. So it's been great. It's been great.
So, in speaking of EDHE 101, you were recognized as the EDHE 101 Instructor of the Year for this past spring, 2021, and for your work with freshmen on academic probation. Tell us a little bit about your experience as an instructor with 105 or 101, and what's your approach to teaching?
All right. So 105, 101. I can't say it's different. You have to have a different approach. 105 is more of welcoming the students here on campus, telling them about the resources, things that they need, and just helping them build relations with students on campus and in the classroom. When I first started teaching 101, I tried to do the same approach with 105. That don't work because these students they are here and they're on probation, so they have been on campus for a semester, so they know what's here, but a lot of them have not really tapped into all of the resources to help them be successful. So with that, I just have to one-on-one try to meet with them and get to them individually Just let them know, look, I care about you. You're on probation, but hey, it's not the end of the world. We can get it out of this, but we have to be able to focus in, change the mindset, because a lot of students that freshman year 105, you do have some students who come in and just really just want to have fun. School is the last thing on their mind. And then even with 101, you still have those students sometimes that school is the last thing on their mind. So trying to get them to see, hey, this is one last shot for you to get it right before you have to deal with something else that has a negative effect on your school. And so I just try to push them because one thing that all students need to see is their potential. Uh, Even in high school, students don't see their full potential. And they maybe have gotten by doing things certain ways up to this point, but just trying to get them to see, hey, there's more in me that I can get out of me. There is more that I can do to help me be more successful. There are some ways and some things that I have not seen about myself that can help me really do this college thing and make my family proud back home. So I'm just trying to get them, just motivate them to see there's more in you, but we have to just try to get it out of you. And if I can do anything, talk to you, build you up to get that out of you, I do everything I can to get it out.
Well, you do a lot of great work in motivating students. How do you keep them motivated?
Yeah, so keep them motivated. That's a good question. One way is just if I can reach them, and like I say, every student is different. If I can reach them early on and they see the results of changing their habits, changing their behavior, that helps them stay motivated. Now, some students I really don't get to until maybe midterms. And at that point, they're like, oh man, my midterm grades are bad and it's time for me to really lock down, buckle down. So at that point is really look at where you are. Have you really gave your best the last couple of weeks? Now let's try to excel and do more to get you to a higher status than where you are right now. And then for the other students, it's like you have really taken this class serious. You have really buckled down this last couple of weeks, this second semester here. Maybe you fell down the first semester, but like I say, we fall down, but we can get back up. And so you see where you have gotten just by focusing and by locking in and doing your schoolwork, studying. So look at your midterm grades. They tell you how great you have done up to this point. So this is not the end. So let's carry this same attitude, this same energy all the way to the finish line. And that's up until finals. So that's one way I just try to keep them motivated, especially if they're doing well. And then for the ones that are not doing well, they see that time is running out. So a lot of times they see that, man, I'm not doing so hot. My teacher, he's trying to push me. He sees something in me that I don't see in myself. So let me try to do it his way to see how everything turns out at the end. So there's one way I just try to keep them motivated. And also, one thing that I talk about a lot in my class is mindset. Like, you have to change your mindset. Even with me in my undergrad and my grad school, if you look at my undergrad transcript, look at my grad school transcript, it looked like two totally different people. And that's only because I changed my mindset during my grad school year. So once we see and learn that, hey, there's more in me, I can do more, as long as we are willing to go above and beyond to achieve higher goals, that's when we would do our best and give our best in all that we do.
In terms of general advice for students, what would you say what is your advice for students to do well and be successful academically in college?
My advice would be, you are here. when you look at my Ole Miss, you see your name.
Mhm.
When you look at your grades in my Ole Miss, you see your grades. Uh, Once you finish school, your name is going to be on that degree. So one thing that I can say to encourage all students, give your best because this is for you. This is for your life. This is it's nothing to do with the fun that goes on in college. That's not going to be on your degree. That's not going to be on your transcript, but your grades are. So it's always imperative to give your best because this is for you personally. And uh, some people they have other motivations outside of themselves, like home, brothers and sisters trying to set the right example. Uh, don't want to go back home. I've heard students say, I do not want to go back home and I have a degree. So these are things that you must think about with your time here at the university. You want to have fun, but you also want to make sure that you are doing what you are here to do. One thing that we used to talk about all the time with accounting is your return on investment. Somebody is investing in your education. And I really push that with my students in class because with financial aid, you see students that have loans or they have financial aid or their parents are paying out of pocket. And it's like the best way to reward the people that are paying for your school is to come here and do what you're supposed to do and get that degree. That will make everybody proud.
Well, good advice for sure. And we have kind of a lightning round coming up where we kind of dive in a little bit more with your college experiences. But before we get into that, is there anything else you would like to share that's on your mind?
Uh, One thing that I would like to share, although I may not know all of the students, one thing that I tell all of my students, whether it be 105 or 101, um, every student does not have a great support system. And although I may have had a great support system, just being in this role with advising and seeing students each and every day, every student don't have a great support system. So I don't know who's going to see this, uh, but even for my students, the ones that know me and for the ones that do not know me, just know I believe in you. That's something that I tell all of my students. I believe in them just to let them know somebody cares about the work that they are doing and somebody wants to see them succeed. So whether if you don't have no one that believes in you, just know I believe in you. And even if you have a lot of people that believe in you, still know I'm here on campus. And I truly believe that you can be the best that you can be in your life.
Thank you, Dion. We really appreciate that, especially talking to the students that we work with the most are probation, suspension, and students coming back from dismissal. I know that really means a lot. And I know that you really mean what you say whenever you are saying that you're here for them. So, students, you've got allies here on campus that are here to help you with whatever you need.
Right.
But talking about on campus,
Mhm.
what was your freshman year of college like? If you could paint us a picture, going back to Dion's first year, what does that look like?
My first year of college, and the reason why I enjoy what I do and I show the students grace is because I truly understand what it's like to get away from home for the
Mhm.
first time, kind of do your own thing. So my first year of college, it was fun. I had fun, uh, but I got my work done.
Mhm.
Had fun, but I got my work done, and uh, it was one of those things where I had to break bad habits. We developed those habits going through K through 12 and high school. And uh, a lot of those habits that I had that got me through high school wasn't the best to help me be successful
Mhm.
in college. So I did have some shortcomings. I did fail a couple of tests. I did uh, make a couple of grades that I wasn't used to making, but that also taught me that I have to give more if I want to receive more. If I want to receive that degree, I have to give more. And So there was fun, but with that fun, I was making mistakes. I was making bad grades, but I realized, hey, it's not the end of the world. So I can just use this to motivate me, help me grow, help me mature in life. And I would have to say I'm happy with that experience because if I wouldn't have had that experience, I wouldn't be able to connect with the students today, especially with everything that they try to do and try to get involved with and try to take on. But try not to do too much because the ultimate goal, like I say, is that getting that degree. If I wouldn't have gotten my bachelor's degree, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be on this chit chat. If I wouldn't have gotten my master's degree, I wouldn't be in the role that I am today to meet with students. So uh, give your best in all that you do. But my freshman year was a growing experience, and a lot of freshmen they have a tough growing experience because they're not used to failing a test. They're not used to making a C or a B. But sometimes you'll make those, but it's not the end of the world. So I got through it. I made it through, and I bounced back. And that's the main goal. Just try to bounce back with wherever you start, and you will make it. You will make it.
Yeah. So, last question we have for you. Have you had a mentor or a professor whom you found to be inspirational throughout your journey?
I would have to say my accounting teachers, they really were very influential with where I am today because accounting, it was tough. It was tough. There was nothing easy about it. And they pushed us and they pushed us, but there was one instructor, Dr. Victoria Dickinson. We called her Dr. D. Now she's special to me because she never was my instructor for a class. And I'm still trying to figure out how we even crossed paths. But we connected and she had me doing stuff that I never would have done on my own. And I really didn't have a choice. It was like, Dion, you doing this, and it's doing presentations, doing interviews, and just doing public speaking. And it was called case competitions in accounting, and where you go before top accounting firms, KPMG, PwC, things like that, and just presenting a case or a trial that they give you. And because of her pushing me, I took that mentality with my grad school, and I gave my best and I gave my all in grad school. And that's the reason why today I try my best to push students, because if it wasn't for Dr. D, there would have been some things about me that I wouldn't have seen about myself. So I just try to take that same motivation that I receive to pass that along to other students to help them say, hey, there's more in you. We just got to tap into it. I don't care if you haven't been good in math, if you haven't been good at writing in English, there's more in you that will help get you through those classes that you have to take for your degree. But we just have to change the mentality of, I don't like math, so I'm not going to do it. I don't like writing, so I'm not going to give my best. I don't like history, so I'm not going to give my best. No, we have to change that mentality and give your best in every class, no matter if you don't like it or not. There were a lot of subjects that I didn't like, but hey, I gave my best and I got through it because I knew in order for me to get to where I want to be, there are going to be some things that I don't want to do that I have to do. And if I just tap into it to do what I have to do right now to get me to where I want to be, let's do that. And then at the end of it, you'll be like, wow, I'm happy I did that. Now, you take that and you pass that along because somebody else is coming right behind you that's trying to get to where you are. that you can help them be more successful than what you were my freshman year, my 4 years of undergrad. So Dr. D, she was influential in my life because she pushed me. And I push all my students. Some students don't receive it well because they are not used to being pushed. But I push all my students to be the best that they can be.
Well, Dion, thank you so much for being on this episode of the Chit Chat. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate all the work that you do with students, not just on probation, but in your role as an academic advisor, because you are there to help them plan out their entire academic career. You're
Right.
there to give them motivation. You're there to assist them in ways that they might not even know they need help yet, just like you were saying.
Right.
You're one of those people on campus that's able to do that for a student. So we really do appreciate what you do for students here at the University of Mississippi, and for being the current EDHE 101 Instructor of the Year. That's something that has a lot of bragging rights that you can use. And when students ask, well, how did you become this? You'll be able to tell them it's
Right.
because of my work in former students. It's because
Right.
of my talks with them and everything that I've done to get students back on track. So for us to be back on track is back in good standing,
Right.
which is what we want for all of our students to be able to graduate here at the University of Mississippi. So we thank you for what you do. We appreciate what you do. But for Rebekah Reysen, I'm Jeremy Roberts. We want to thank you again for another great episode of the Chit Chat. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social media platforms, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye.